and how people are getting access to our systems and data and all other exploit and how they are doing it. These are external parties or internal parties as well. So we have covered all that. So now we are now going to get into what is an audit itself per se. So an audit is something which will help an organization. Basically, it's a check. It's a systematic independent review to ensure that the things are working in the way the expectation of the organization or the management is. So in terms of financial audits, we go about checking in terms of monetary value, in terms of money, whether we have all our money in place, whether we are making profit, what kind of margins we are making, from which organization we are making more, which vertical is performing better. The analysis of that, we do that. In terms of IT, we check in terms of how our systems, our people, our process, and our technology. This is the core of it. No, people, process, technology, how it is getting protected against internal and external threats. It can be in terms of server, it can be in terms of hardware, in terms of software, in terms of our process itself. Some weakness may be there. Some things may not get authorized, so unauthorized entries are happening, unauthorized transactions are happening. Admin rights are given to outside people also. Admin rights are given with password is not getting changed properly. So this can be many reasons or explanations or potential opportunities where people are able to exploit our systems. So why do we do audits is because of various reasons. But at the core of it, as I told you, we are providing assurance to the organization, to the management, to the stakeholders that as far as IS audit is concerned, that we are giving a certain level of protection which is accepted of or expected from us as an organization on our information assets. So this is the core of it, why we are protecting or reviewing an audit. And ultimately, we are responsible and to explain or provide a reasonable assurance to the stakeholders. As I am telling you, reasonable assurance, we cannot give complete assurance. As the auditor, nobody can give complete assurance, which I will explain in the forthcoming parts of it. But ultimately, this is how we are doing it. Okay, so that is that. Now, as far as we are concerned, we have done all this. So what are our audit objectives? Why are we doing the audit per se? Again, even regardless of whether it is IS audit, financial audit, or anything else, our core audit objectives are only these four. One is to ensure that operations are working in an effective and efficient manner. We are complying with all regulatory and legal obligations, compliances, and everything. We are getting an assurance that the business is doing well. As far as the financial audit is concerned, we will be ensuring this. As far as IT audit is concerned, we will be doing that. All our IT systems and our assets are getting protected and they are in good place. And finally, we should also be looking at a futuristic kind of a view that all our potential challenges or potential threats which are coming our way, we are at least getting ready to brace up for all that. Because more importantly, in domain 4, you will understand this, that there is something called business continuity planning and disaster recovery planning. So business continuity preparation or planning, which is what we call as BCP, and DRP is what is called as disaster recovery planning. What we do is we have to ensure that our organization, even though it will be impacted many, like for example, recently, you must have heard about this in India, no? Indigo airline is there. So suddenly it got disrupted. Many flights got cancelled. People were not able to travel. Like last week, there was something called Cloudflare. You must have heard about it. Cloudflare is again is a service provider, cloud service provider, who gives basic services for organizations to have an edge computing. Where in cloud computing there is something called edge computing. We don't have to have a server in every country. So what we will do, we will go and capture our data in the nearest server, and we will be retrieving our data from there. Typically, for example, we are watching YouTube video, right? The original server in which it is hosted may be somewhere in the US. Okay, I cannot wait for my services to go to US and take it from there. So what I will do, I will place a server which is closer to where I say, okay, or I will do something called Content Delivery Network, CDN. So I will transfer my data and make it accessible to somewhere which is closer to where I live. so that it is easily accessible to some person in Oman. So maybe there will be a data center in Muscat, or there may not be a data center in Muscat. If there is a data center in Muscat, I will host it there. If it is not, then I will host it to the nearest place where it is there. So these are the things which I should look at. So what happened in this case of Cloudflare is that they had a fix which they were supposed to do and they couldn't do it properly, or they had a bug in the system. So because of that, many cloud services were down. Many websites were down. It was not working for some time. Even in Oman, for a few hours, it was not working. Across the world, it failed. So this is the reason, one of the reasons why we should be equipped enough to ensure that we are ready for the world. These kind of disruptions will keep coming. There always will be some hacking or the other. There will always be some disruptions which are there. How we can best mitigate our disruptions and minimize the damage which will happen. For example, suppose we are running our website like Amazon is working. Suddenly, because of all these reasons, Amazon website is not working. So let us say in 1 hour, they are able to generate 100,000 real worth of business. And in 1 hour, suppose the website is not working for 1 hour, they are losing 100,000 real, right? So these are the kind of things we should look at, and how we can minimize this. Suppose we can, bring our systems back up in, let's say, 30 minutes. So what will be the damage? What will be required to bring up these systems in 30 minutes? What are the investment which is required? Where we should host it? How we should do? If this fails, what is the backup? Do we do backup every day? Do we do backup on a regular basis? Do we have a restore system in place? So these are the things we should look at from an auditor's point of view, whether these are in place. So we will assess that and we will tell the management, are you ready for this or not? So from an organization point of view, this is what we mean by being prepared to meet potential challenges. So assurance again is a very important concept. I just want to highlight one more time. There are three types of people for whom or by whom we can take assurance. One is the management. Second is the internal audit, which is us. Third is the external audit, which is the statutory auditors, who are doing this financial review and so on. So each one will have a different point of view, but ultimately we are providing confidence to the stakeholders that the things are working as they are required to work. This is the ultimate objective of doing assurance. So what we do in a state of giving assurance is we have different purposes and different focus points. From an internal point of view, internal audit point of view, we evaluate the governance, we check for the risk management, we check for risk mitigation, we check in the controls, whether things are working as per the requirement of expectation of the management, and we give an assurance that, a reasonable assurance that these are okay, these are not okay. If these are not okay, what needs to be done to address that? So this is what we do as auditors. As external auditors, they will give a true and fair picture of the financial statements and what is their opinion about it, which again will be very independent because they are not part of the organization. They are completely outside the organization. So they will give from an outside point of view in terms of the financial statements, whether it is in line with what probably in terms of compliance with how it should be presented and reported to the stock exchange or the management, or in terms of regulatory bodies and so on. Okay.